Hey, agency owners. So I have to rant with you guys for a minute. I had an agency talk to me the other day about the fact that they felt like their team was not being loyal. They had lost a number of team members that were really vital to the operation. And the agency owner, I think, was rightfully upset. The piece that I found to be very interesting, though, that I think is the crux of the problem and where he was really missing the issue and the point that I was trying to make, and hopefully over time we'll understand a little bit more, is that I asked him why he thought that that team should be more loyal and should have stayed or given more notice when they were actually leaving. He's like, well, I have held them through the pandemic. I have overpaid them. And he had all this like list and litany of reasons. And I asked him, well, what about them on a personal level? Do you know them? Do you have any connection to them? Any of those pieces that would allow for someone to actually have loyalty? And his answer was no. And I thought that this was very interesting because I see this happen a lot where you have an organization that is completely disjointed from the people that work at the organization. And I know that I say this all the time in sales and in management, but the thing that is missed here is that they're human beings. Your team members are human beings, and human beings like talking about their personal life. They like talking about themselves. They like learning about people. They like connecting with people. We are herd animals. And we need to actually recognize that on the base physiology and psychology of us as a species, that is extremely important to actually connect with the individuals if you're actually wanting to create loyalty. And so that is what my rant is about today, is connect with your team members. Get to know them. Want to understand them. Know what they did this past weekend. What do they enjoy as their hobbies? What do they do in their off time? Why do they care about it? Why does that make them excited? Are they married? Are they not? Do they have any kids? What is going on in their personal life? Every single one of my team members I know on a personal level. And I know what's going on with their lives. I know that the types of issues that they have. I mean, I talk to them on a fairly regular basis to just connect with them, get to know them, and recognize that they're human beings and actually take an interest in them. And they know that I care about them on a personal level. They know that I want to help them, and they know that I'm there for them should they ever need it. And that I'm very careful to make sure that I don't blur the line, and I try to, and sometimes maybe I do a little bit, but trying to really wash that line between professionalism and friendship and make sure that you have that line really defined so that you're able to sort of walk up to the line but not exactly cross it, and making sure that you're really just taking an interest in your team members. That I know that there's so much that has actually been fed into organizations as like this place of culture where you're trying to just force it into the organization when it isn't something that already just innately exists and you can't just build it in. So what I see happen is like at the beginning of the meeting, you're going to give me your like best business or best personal thing, or you're going to tell me a little bit about what just happened last weekend. And it's like this thing that just gets fit into a meeting. And it's not something that people are actually interested in. So it's like this obligatory thing that they have to share rather than actually wanting to engage in conversation. So I don't have any of those like requirements that you have to share with someone. The thing that I think that is important is that just ask a question, change it every time. It's not the exact same question. It doesn't have to be this just like built-in forced piece of culture that you're trying to push in your business. If you don't know your team members and you have churn, you haven't taken an interest in who they are, you haven't connected with them, I want to remind you that they are not going to be loyal. This is not indentured servitude. You need to actually treat them like human beings. If you haven't asked a question, go right now, stop this video, and go ask your nearest team member something about themselves.